Jai Jai Shriman Narayan, Jai Shriman Narayan, Jai Shriman Narayan. I pay my obeisances to my spiritual master, Srimad Jagadguru Sudarshan Acharyaji Maharaj. I pay my obeisances to Lord Sri Ramanuj. I pay my obeisances to our Purva Acharyas. I pay my obeisances to our 12 alvars. I pay my obeisances to Mother Lakshmi, and I pay my obeisances to Lord Sriman Narayan. I welcome all of you here physically at the Sri Narayan Dham in Durban, South Africa. I welcome those that are watching this discourse locally, nationally, and internationally. And I welcome in advance those that are going to be watching this discourse when it is posted on YouTube and the various groups from around the world subsequently. We are back on our spiritual revolution of the Bhagavad Gita, and before we get into it, I just want to do a recap. We are on chapter 2. We completed verse 25. But I think it is important to know the philosophy of the Bhagavad Gita itself. And there are 5 core principles in the Bhagavad Gita, or core philosophical truths, 5 absolute truths that we have to wrap our mind around when we are reading the Bhagavad Gita. The first one is a supreme personal Lord. The first core philosophical principle is a supreme personal Lord who is omnipresent and omniscient. That is principle of philosophy, one of the 5 core philosophies. Again, I want to repeat, it is important because we are always reading the Bhagavad Gita to some guru's philosophy. And when we read it to some guru's philosophy, then we're not seeing the real picture of the Bhagavad Gita. We are seeing it through the lens of that particular guru. We need to see the Bhagavad Gita in its originality for you to have the full impact on the Bhagavad Gita on you. If you watch it through another lens, then your information coming through to you will be refracted. So it is very, very important. This is why I've taken this Bhagavad Gita so seriously. This is why we are delving into every aspect of the Bhagavad Gita to ensure that the world is never conned again. The world is never conned again. And if I have to be more precise, the world is never conned again. All right? These translations and these commentaries take you away from the original message of God. The Bhagavad Gita was specifically spoken by God Himself. He didn't send a prophet to speak the Bhagavad Gita on His behalf. He did not send saints and sages. He did not implant the Bhagavad Gita in the hearts of saints and sages. He came down personally. And not too long ago, 5,000 years ago, He was here personally. And He gave you the Bhagavad Gita personally. There is no need for any guru to explain what God has explained. Is there any need? God did not speak gibberish. God spoke in a language that was universal to the entire universe 5,000 years ago. Sanskrit was a language that was spoken in every corner of the globe. Sanskrit was the universal language. Sanskrit is the language spoken by the Supreme Lord. Sanskrit is the language created by the Supreme Lord, and Sanskrit is the most perfect language that exists. Anything created by the Supreme Lord has to be the most perfect. That must be taken for granted. So, in order to understand the Bhagavad Gita, you have to understand it through its own philosophy. And the Bhagavad Gita's philosophy is fivefold. One, there is a supreme personal Lord. He is called the source and goal of all living entities. His attribute, one of his infinite attributes, is that he is the source and goal of all living entities. Does that fit the status of a creator? Does that attribute fit the status of a creator? The status of a creator, he has to be the source of all living entities because he is the creator. So to create, you have to be the source. Then you also have to be the goal. Those that you created has to acknowledge the creator, yes? So the source, the creator has to be the source, and the product have to recognize the source. Product have to recognize the source. So that description of the Supreme Lord, the source and goal of all living entities, in the language of Sanskrit, in the language of Sanskrit, it is called Narayana, source and goal of all living entities. In Sanskrit, it is called Narayana. In Arabic, source and goal of all living entities is called Allah. In Hebrew, source and goal of all living entities is called Elohim. You understand? I'm just giving you these three names. So the Creator has to be the source and goal of all living entities. That is the first philosophy in the Bhagavad Gita. First philosophy in the Bhagavad Gita is that there is a creator. That creator is a person. That creator is a person, is not just a lump of energy. If the highest the Supreme Lord could be is a lump of energy, then the highest his creation should be is a lump of energy. Do you understand? Because you are part of a person. You are energy and you are personal. You are individual, aren't you? You have an identity. It means your creator must also have an identity. You cannot have an identity if your creator cannot be identified. Does it make sense? anything that is created, its creator has to be identified, must have an identity, and it must be a person, must have a personality. You understand? Because there is a philosophy called Advaita. There is a philosophy called Advaita where they say God is not a person, he was an energy, then he became a person, and then you become an energy again. And they say there's no difference between you and God. They say there's no difference between the individual soul and God. All right? So we refute that. Right at the beginning, I want to kick out the Advaita philosophy as false. In fact, they got no right. Advaitins got no right to do a commentary on the Bhagavad Gita. If you don't believe God is a person, then why do you want to do a commentary on the Bhagavad Gita where Lord Sri Krishna himself states that he was always a person? He was always a person. Okay? He says demonic entities think once upon a time he was an energy, then he became a person. Now, how do Advaitins interpret that verse? Do you understand? So don't play in an area you got no expertise in. Don't play in an area you got no expertise in. If you don't know, you don't know. You cannot know what you don't know. So philosophy, core principle of the Bhagavad Gita is it establishes the supremacy of the Supreme Lord Shriman Narayan. Number one, what Bhagavad Gita does establishes the supremacy of the Supreme Creator known by his attribute as Lord Shriman Narayan. Full stop. That's where we start the Bhagavad Gita from. That's how the Bhagavad Gita starts. The second core philosophy is the individual soul. You need to learn that you are not this body, you are the individual soul, and that you are a part, a functioning part of the Supreme Whole. You are a functioning part of the Supreme Whole. You are not this body. You are an eternal soul and you are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. That is philosophy number two. The third philosophy in the Bhagavad Gita is material nature, made out of the five elements. Material nature made out of the five elements. And intertwined in these five elements are the three gunas. Intertwined in the five elements are the three gunas, Satagun, Rajagun, and Tamagun. This is the core philosophy number three of the Bhagavad Gita. And what's number four? Kala. Trisha, not black. Kala, time. Trisha, not black, time. My Kala is not here today. He's sick. Alright, Srisha? You'll have to walk up. Please don't give Trisha as if you all know what cards you wait for. The fourth philosophy is time. Everything starts with time and everything ends in time. Evolution and involution. Evolution and involution. Everything starts with time, everything dissolves into time. Number 5, the fifth core philosophy is karma. Is karma. Everything that happens through karma. Every solution is found when karma is ended. Karma has no beginning, but karma has an end. Karma has an end. Karma has no beginning, it's there since time immemorial, but it can end individually. It can end individually. This is the philosophy of the Bhagavad Gita. This is the philosophy of the Bhagavad Gita, and this is how you were designed. This is how God designed you. Then the solution. God designed you in terms of these 5 philosophies. You can't come out of the design. You did not design yourself. You did not design yourself. You calibrated. You calibrated like this. You are designing an aeroplane. You are designed as an aeroplane, but you're living as a car. You are designed as an aeroplane, but you're living as a car. You got wings, you got jet fuel, you got engines to fly out of this atmosphere. Let's make it enough. You got wings, you got jet fuel, you got thrust, you got thrust, you come with your own runway, you come with your own airport, you got everything to fly, but as long as you think you're the body, you live like a car. You live like a car. There comes a time in your life where you have to meet that technician that's going to teach you to fly. And that technician is called a bona fide spiritual master. So you already have everything. You already have everything. You are an aeroplane. Away. Inviting Udashmika, she is a Airbus 380. Upstairs and downstairs. Don't eat a crash, darling. I won't be able to find the pieces. Away. You are small Cessna. You know, they fly here in Virginia. All right. Are you understanding? You are manufactured to fly. This is the human body. Only the human body. There are 8.4 million species of life. 8.4 million species of life. The human body is designed to make you fly. The human body in a rocket. Have you all seen a rocket take off? You saw one part that remains. This is your body. Your body remains, but it gives impetus to your soul to fly out of this atmosphere. It gives your soul thrust to leave this atmosphere. Are you understanding? Can you see? And to do that, the Bhagavad Gita gives you the three yogas. What are the three yogas? Karma yoga, Jnana yoga, and Bhakti yoga. When this three is infused properly into your system, when this three is infused properly into your system, then your soul is thrust into the spiritual atmosphere at the time of death. This body has been calibrated to accept karma yoga, bhakti yoga, and jnana yoga. For this, you need a bona fide spiritual master. This is the purpose of this universe, and this is the purpose of the human body. And the Bhagavad Gita is the manual. Bhagavad Gita is the manual on how to turn from a car into an aeroplane, or more precisely, a rocket. More precisely, a rocket. From a car to a rocket. If you use the Bhagavad Gita accordingly, if you allow the Guru to teach you the Bhagavad Gita accordingly, then this will be your last body. This will be your last body, and you can go back to that bliss you've been seeking all the time. You see, Shravan's baby now is 2 weeks old. Every time her eyes is open, she's seeking. She is seeking. First, she'll think she's seeking for her mother and her father together with milk. Right now, she's seeking absolute bliss in milk. And whenever she has the milk, she's subdued, but the seeking doesn't stop. The seeking will never stop until she reaches absolute bliss. Absolute bliss can only be found in the lap of the Supreme Lord. She's going to think various things are going to satisfy her. Nothing will satisfy her. There is nothing that can fill a soul. There is nothing that can fill a soul other than its creator. There is nothing that can fill a soul other than its creator. So when you're seeking, that impulsion to seek will always be. The impulsion to seek will always be there until you and your Creator have met. You think, Abe, once you get married, everything is blissful. Abe, maybe for a few days. Some survived a few weeks. Others made it for a month. Only Vasan is on his third year. Only Vasan is on his third year. I don't think anyone, if we can give him awards, Vasan will be claiming awards. I don't think any man made it over one. But right, sir, you can talk, no one to reprimand you. I can't ask Ajit Bhai, he might not get food for a whole week. Ajit Bhai is sharp, he learnt all the tricks now, you know when to keep his mouth shut and play dog. Ajit Bhai, you know when to play dog. That seeking, that impulse, that seeking only stops when you find God. Because it is God you are seeking. But you don't know. You are illusioned in this material body. You see everything out there and you think one of those things is what you're seeking for. At every stage, when you get married, then you realize, no, that bliss is not fulfilled. Then you say, let's have children. When you have children, then you say, no, this bliss is not fulfilled. And now, maybe at this age, you realize all that I worked hard for my whole life was for nothing. You know, just earlier, before this generation, 4 or 5 children was the norm. And then if you look at Indians, I'm just looking at Indians, they must have a 4-bedroom house or 5-bedroom house. Both parents will work their butt off to pay the bond. And then the first child get married, gone. Second child get married, gone. All 5 children got married, and then you got a huge mansion, 2 old coffin dodgers living in the house. Yes? And then you realize, hey, what a fool I've been. Then when the children start kicking you from outside, how many percent it doesn't happen? Where was that bliss? Where was that bliss you were seeking? So this is why the Bhagavad Gita is very, very, very important. How many bodies have gone to the grave in the past 5,000 years? Human bodies have been cremated in the past 5,000 years, together with its facilities, hardly being used. Do you know you have 72,000 nerves in your body, subtle nervous system? Do you know that? Called nadis. Do you know that? Do you know how much of facilities there are in the human body that are not utilized from birth to death. How dumb it is to be calibrated as one of the most efficient technologies of the Supreme Lord. The human body is the most meticulous and efficient technologies ever created by the Supreme Lord. And you think with this body. And this entire technology gets cremated or joined the worms. Such a great technology, in the end, join the worms or get cremated without 1% of the technology being used. So the Bhagavad Gita is there to teach you that this universe is a technology, the human body is a technology. When the human body as a technology interfaces with the universe that is a technology, then your purpose is fulfilled. Then your purpose is fulfilled. What is the purpose of a car? To take you from A to B. If you park your car outside and shine it all day, will the car be fulfilling its purpose? You need to move that car. You need to move from place to place to fulfill its purpose. This human body has a purpose. It only has one purpose. How many purposes? That purpose is to realize its creator. Only purpose of the human body is to realize its creator, and it is calibrated to realize its creator. It is calibrated to realize its creator already. You don't have to add anything onto this human body. Don't have to make your lips bigger. What they call it, Botox, or no modifications. No modifications to realize your creator. You don't have to modify any part of your body to realize your creator. Just find a bona fide spiritual master, find a guru, follow the guru, follow the guru's instructions. All those parts inside your body is already there. You need to tune it on. You need to click it on. You need to go home today and say, I am the soul. As soon as you come to that realization that you're not this body, you're the soul, and food for the soul can only come from the guru, then which supermarket you have to continue going to? Which supermarket you have continue going to? A bona fide spiritual master. You can't go to the spaza shop, they're selling the same rice they cheap because all that is cooked rice, cooked oil. You know, all the spaza shop, they are they make fake things. They make fake things. And that is why the spaza shop, go to any spaza shop, foreigner, you'll see it's always stocked. Fully stocked. The shelf is never empty. Alright? You need to go to a supermarket that sells soul food. And that supermarket comes from only the Sri Sampradaya at this moment. At this moment, only a guru with this tilak can liberate you. Only a guru with this tilak can liberate you, but not Vishwananda from Bhakti is a rogue guru. When I say rogue guru, he is misrepresenting this tilak. He is misrepresenting this tilak. Only a guru with this tilak can liberate you. But this guru is not going to give you the Bhagavad Gita through any philosophy. There's no philosophy. I'm giving you this background from where? From the Bhagavad Gita directly, it's from the source. I'm not giving you this through another lens. This Bhagavad Gita is not from another lens. It is giving you absolute truth. And what is the truth? How many philosophies in the Bhagavad Gita? 5. 5 core philosophies. What are the 5 core philosophies? 1. The Supreme Lord is Lord Shriman Narayan. He enters the Mahabharata as the 8th avatar called Krishna. Krishna means all attractive. Krishna means all attractive. Lord Sri Krishna in the Mahabharata himself states that he is an avatar of Lord Shriman Narayan. Case closed. Case closed. Because a bona fide spiritual master must give you God's truth. When Lord Sri Krishna in the Mahabharata declares, not once, many times, that he is the avatar of Lord Shriman Narayan, is that not enough for humanity? Do we need to go and ask anyone else? Do you need to ask one guru somewhere? No, because the Lord has spoken himself. And this is why the Bhagavad Gita is the most important scripture, because it was spoken directly by our Creator himself, not through anyone else. So there can be no mistake, because we use the word supreme. What does supreme mean? What does supreme mean? Supreme means highest. Supreme means no addition, no subtraction, no division, no multiplication. Supreme means absolute as it is. So there can be no confusion. There is no confusion. The Bhagavad Gita establishes Lord Shriman Narayan as the Supreme Lord, as Creator. The Bhagavad Gita establishes that all the individual souls are eternal. Bhagavad Gita establishes all the individual souls are eternal. It means you were never born, you can never die. What it means? You were never born, you can never die. The Bhagavad Gita establishes that your body is made up of 5 elements, which is material nature in conjunction with your karma, in proportion with your karma, you are impelled by the three gunas. Sometimes you are in Satagun, sometimes you are in Rajogun, and sometimes you are in Tamogun. These three gunas keep influencing you all the time. But when you surrender to a bona fide spiritual master, and if you are in Tamogun, then you move from Tamogun to Rajogun and Rajogun to Sat. And if you are in Tamagun, you just move to Sat. There's always a sanitized evolution when you are with a bona fide spiritual master. There's always a sanitized evolution. So all this is very, very clear. It is absolutely clear when you, every verse in the Bhagavad Gita must be seen through this lens. Then you got time. You must use this time to liberate yourself. You can liberate yourself in 1 hour or a million lifetimes. It just depends how dumb you are. You agree? Or how intelligent you are. If you are super intelligent in 1 hour, after this discourse, you're waiting. After this discourse, you are ready to go home. It just depends how intelligent or how dumb you are. Up to you. Alright? Guru's job is only to show you there's the way. Guru's job is not to tie one rope and take you along. Guru's job is to show you there's the way. And your job is to believe the Guru. How many of you travel in a bus in your lifetime? All of you? You went, you paid your bus fare, you sat down, and you started dreaming. Because you all trusted the bus driver. You had full trust that the bus driver will take you to your destination. Hmm? Did you all know the bus driver? Did you all know the bus driver's name? You all know what the bus driver eat? You all know where the bus driver was born? Nothing. Absolutely nothing you all know. But you trusted the bus driver because you all don't look out of the window and say, hey, the bus is not going to hit a crash here. Hmm? Now you all know the Guru. You all know the Guru. You all know what the Guru is. You all know where the Guru comes from. You all know everything about the Guru. Why you don't trust the Guru to take you safe to your destination? You understand? All of you? Some of you might get lucky just now. Guruji will be blessing you. You're here for his birthday. Then you take a flight. You will only hear the pilot's voice. You might not see him. Hmm? But you'll trust the pilot. Same. Use the same criteria and trust the Guru because you'll know more about the Guru than that pilot or that bus driver. And I don't want to talk about Uber drivers. I don't want to talk about Uber drivers. So all of you understand this body was manufactured to be your impulsion for going home. Use this body to go home. Go home. Make this your last. All you have to do to go home is behave yourself. All you have to do is behave. Is it hard to behave? Don't steal, don't lie, don't rob, don't cheat. Simple things, then your body gets light. All this negativity starts leaving you. All your negativity starts leaving you. Then your frequency starts escalating. The frequency of the soul is trapped. Frequency means the vibration of the soul. The soul is seated in your heart. It is trapped by karma. And as you live a righteous life, the Vedas say dharma. The philosophy of the Vedas is, the whole Vedas, the philosophy of the Vedas is karma, dharma, karma, dharma, reincarnation, liberation. What's the philosophy of the whole Vedas? Karma. Then you use dharma. If you use dharma, what will happen to your karma? It will get dissolved. If you don't use dharma, then you'll reincarnate. If you use dharma, you won't reincarnate, you'll liberate. This is the philosophy of the Vedas. Not Advaita, Dvaita, Vishishadvaita, all that is good. That is not there. That is not there. It's man-made. It's man-made. So that is the philosophy of the Vedas is karma, dharma, reincarnation and liberation. So we use dharma to dissolve karma so that we can get liberated. That's what the Vedas is for, and the Vedas is the manual for this universe. So in this universe, there's pathways for your soul to be. The dark night, and the Bhagavad Gita describes the 6 months going through the sun. Alright? So in chapter 13 or 14, I think it's in 13, I'll explain comprehensively. We're far away. We're still in chapter 2. Okay? And in chapter 2 is one of the most important chapters because it describes who you are. It discusses the soul, how you must live as a soul. So I think from next week we go back to chapter 1, verse 1, and let's do this properly again. All right? If I do it 1,000 times too, it doesn't matter because right here at the beginning of the chapter, if you don't get in grips with the syllabus, then when we write in the exams later, everyone will do it. Okay, so we'll start again in chapter 2. Chapter 2, I want to give a detailed background like this on chapter 2, And then when we go through chapter 2, we'll understand the soul. All right. Are there any questions? No questions? Whilst we got time, Javier, play chapter 2, verse 1 to verse 20. So I want you to meditate, close your eyes, and absorb. We sing in Swami Chinajaya. Swami Chinajaya will sing. The reason he is singing because he is singing in the correct frequency of the Bhagavad Gita. Correct frequency. You might not understand. Don't worry about understanding. Understanding is only language. Frequency is what you are calibrated with. So taking this frequency, it is chapter 2, verse 1 to 20, and after that we'll do Ashta.
अथ द्वितीयोऽध्यायः सांख्ययोगः। सञ्जय उवाच तं तथा कृपयाविष्टम् अश्रुपूर्णाकुलेक्षणम् विषीदन्तमिदं वाक्यम् उवाच मधुसूदनः। श्रीभगवानुवाच कुतस्त्वाकस्मिलमिदम् विषमे समुपस्थितम् अनार्यजुष्टमस्वर्ग्यम् अकीर्तिकरमर्जुन। क्लैब्यम् मात्मगमः पार्थ नैतत्त्वय्युपपद्यते क्षुद्रम् हृदय दौर्बल्यम् यक्त्वोत्तिष्ठ परं तप। अर्जुन उवाच कथं भीष्ममहं सङ्ख्ये द्रोणं च मधुसूदन इषुभिः प्रतियोत्स्यामि पूजार्हावरिसूदन। गुरून् हत्वा महानुभावान् श्रेयो भोक्तुं भैक्षमपीह लोके हत्वार्थकामास्तु भूयोनिहैव भुञ्जीय भोगान् बुधिरप्रदिग्धान्। न चैतद्विद्मः कतरन्नो गरीयो यद्वा जयेम यदि वा नो जयेयुः यानेव हत्वा न जिजीविषामः तेव स्थिताः प्रमुखे धार्तराष्ट्राः। कार्पण्यदोषोपहतः स्वभावः पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसम्मोहचेताः यच्छ्रेयस्यान्निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेऽहं चाधि मां त्वां प्रपन्नम्। न हि प्रपश्यामि ममापनुद्यात् यच्छोकमुच्छोषणमिन्द्रियाणाम् अवाप्य भूमावसपत्नमृद्धम् राज्यं सुराणामपि चाधिपत्यम्। सञ्जय उवाच एवमुक्त्वा हृषीकेशं गुडाकेशः परन्तपः नयोत्स्य इति गोविन्दम् उक्त्वा तूष्णीं बभूवः तमुवाच हृषीकेशः प्रहसन्निव भारत सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये विषीदन्तमिदं वचः श्रीभगवानुवाच असोच्यानन्वसोचस्त्वम् प्रज्ञावादांश्च भाषसे गतासु न गतासूंश्च नानुशोचन्ति पण्डिताः न त्वेवाहं जातु नासन् न त्वं नेमे जनाधिपाः न चैव न भविष्यामः सर्वे वयमतः परम् देहिनोऽस्मिन् यथा देहे कौमारं यौवनं जरा तथा देहान्तरप्राप्तिः धीरस्तत्र न मुह्यति मात्रा स्पर्शास्तु कौन्तेय शीतोष्णसुखदुःखदाः आगमापायिनो नित्याः तान् तितिक्षस्व भारत यं हि न व्यथयन्त्येते पुरुषं पुरुषर्षभ समदुःखसुखं धीरम् सोऽमृतत्वाय कल्पते नासतो विद्यते भावो नाभावो विद्यते सतः उभयोरपि दृष्टोऽन्तस्तु अनयोस्तत्त्वदर्शिभिः अविनाशि तु तद्विद्धि येन सर्वमिदं ततम् विनाशमव्ययस्यास्य न कश्चित् कर्तुमर्हति अन्तवन्त इमे देहाः नित्यस्योक्ता शरीरिणः अनाशिनो प्रमेयस्य तस्मात् युज्यस्व भारत य एनं वेत्ति हन्तारं यश्चैनं मन्यते हतम् उभौ तौ न विजानीतो नायं हन्ति न हन्यते न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचित् नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः अजो नित्यस्यास्वतोऽयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे न
Jai Shriman Narayan. Yeah. Okay. Before we close for Aarti, I just want to. There's something that happened yesterday that makes it even more important for us to be very, very, very serious in teaching spirituality to the world. So I had a family, a young lady and her parents. Parents were quite old. They came to feed the Gomatas. And after feeding the Gomatas, they told me they were here last week and they're going to come again next week. So I brought them through and I was having a discussion with them. And the father wanted to take my number, but the daughter said no, she'll do it some other time. And I think it was rude when you're sitting in the presence of a guru and when your parents want the number, and then again after about 10 minutes, I offered and I told her, go and get your phone and take the number quickly, because the dad was asking some relevant questions. And again she said, no, 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 she's in a hurry. And then she said that she was told to come here by a guru from Amgeni Road Temple. So the guru from Amgeni Road Temple told her to come here and feed the cows 3 Saturdays. So I asked her, how will feeding the cows on 3 Saturdays practically assist her? And she said that's between the guru and her. All right. So this Goshala belongs to us. And we know the purpose of the Goshala. This Goshala was consecrated. Wood priest from India in terms of the Pancharatra Agam. We know the purpose of the Goshala. Purpose of the Goshala is not for temples to send their people here. You feeding a Gomata, you feeding a Gomata. There's a specification. But this is the falsity in which our Hindus live around the world, not only here in Durban, South Africa, but around the world. Instead of learning the absolute truth and fixing themselves, they want to be stuck in these rituals. You know, if I tell you, I'm going to clean your karma so that you can be successful, they rather give the Gomata 2 apples. You understand? They're treating the symptom, and the Guru is treating the cause. You can treat the symptom, the entire creation. You'll never be successful. You only are successful when you treat the cause. So this is how important what we are doing. I was sick, but it spurred me, it re-energized me that this world is in so much of darkness. Huge darkness. Jai Shriman Narayan.